If you're thinking about selling your Albuquerque home this fall, I've got some good and I've got some bad news warning. The good news, homes are still selling. Here's the warning. Buyers are actually getting a little pickier. And if you treat this market like the market we had a few years ago, throw the house on the MLS, put a sign in the yard, and wait for offers to pile up, well, you might be waiting just a little bit longer than you planned. So I'm going to show you what's actually happening. And according to the July Southwest MLS numbers, median price for a detached home was $385,000. Now that's actually up 4.1% from last year. So that's good news, right? Closed sales were up 4.3%. Let's get one thing straight. Buyers have not disappeared, all right? They're buying houses, but there's another number sellers need to see. Active inventory jumped 11.1% just from June to July. We had 2,178 detached homes for sale at the end of July. So the translation, buyers have choices. And when buyers have more choices, you better give them a reason to choose your house. We saw this firsthand in July. We listed two houses, both of them in the low 300,000 range. And both sellers did something that I wish every seller would do. Right? They prepared before they listed. They cleaned things up, right? They handled some basic repairs. They took care of the little things that buyers notice whenever they walk through a house. So nothing real crazy, right? But we didn't come in and tell them to remodel the whole place. We simply tried to eliminate reasons for a buyer to say, I don't know. And guess what? Both houses sold quickly within the first 2 weeks. Now, that's what preparation can do. Here's what I don't want to happen, all right? You put your house on the market and a week goes by, no offer. Week 2, still nothing. Right? Showing slow down. Then your broker calls and says, hey, maybe we need to reduce the price, right? Nobody wants that phone call. We don't want to hear that. And sometimes the price isn't where the problem started. The problem started before the house ever hit the market. So median days on the market increased from 11 days in June to 14 days in July. And that's still a good market. But it's a reminder, your first impression matters. The condition of your home matters. Your pictures matter. Your pricing matters. And guys, look, the launch matters. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, all right? Mortgage rates, right? A 30-year mortgage, the rates spent July in the mid-6 range, and they finished the month around 6.6, all right, according to Freddie Mac. So that's becoming much more normal for today's buyer. Here's what that means to a seller. A buyer who's already watching their monthly payment, like super careful, they don't necessarily want to walk into your house and immediately think, okay, look, I got to replace carpet, I need paint, I got to fix a roof, I need water heater, I need landscaping. They're doing the math in their head. And so every problem can become a reason to offer less. They buy the house down the street instead. Then you got the Fed, you got inflation, you got the conflict involving Iran, you got energy, right? Gas, fuel prices. So you got everybody on television predicting what interest rates are going to do next. And the Federal Reserve held its target rate steady again in July. So this is continuing disruption around the Strait of Hormuz. It's adding another layer of economic uncertainty. So here's my advice. Stop trying to sell a house based on guessing what Jerome Powell is going to do next, or Walsh rather. We can't control that, but we can control the house itself. Condition, price, presentation, marketing. That's where I really want to see sellers focused as we head toward fall, okay? This brings me down to something I want Albuquerque homeowners to start thinking about differently. Guys, get unlisted. It kind of sounds backwards, doesn't it? Look, it's not. See, the real estate industry is obsessed with getting more listings. Agents want to list your house. They want the sign. They want the MLS listing. Guys, they want another property to advertise. But you're the seller, right? You don't want a listing. You want a sale. There's a big difference. And putting your house in the MLS, okay, that's easy, right? But putting a sign in the yard, it's low-hanging fruit, right? That's easy. Taking pictures, easy, right? Relatively, you would think. But then what? Hope, dream, wait, reduce the price. Guys, that's not the job. The job is to figure out what needs to happen before we list so buyers want the house once we do. What needs fixing? What doesn't? How do we position it against your competition? Who is the competition? What's the competition? Where should we price it? How do we create the strongest possible launch? Because the average broker may be trying to, get your listing, but we're trying to get you unlisted because that means we did what you hired us to do, right? We sold the house. If you're thinking about selling this fall, don't wait until you're ready to put the sign in the yard. Let's talk before that. Go to sellthe505.com, click Get Unlisted, and we're going to take a look at your situation, your property, and the market, and figure out exactly what needs to happen before you sell. No hype, no guessing. Let's just come up with a plan together to get unlisted. Don't just list it, sell it.